Hello everyone, welcome to the energy update for July 2025. I'm Lee, I'm an intuitive, and every month I take the pulse on what might be showing up for us energetically, emotionally, and psychologically. Three of the themes for this month are Tremors and Shockwaves from World Energetics, Aliveness like never before, and Galactic events and unexplained phenomena rising. Stay tuned for the full update. Hello everyone, I'm on location this month in the beautiful countryside in Oxfordshire, UK. So it's lovely to be out here. There might be some wind noise, but that's kind of, I think, apropos for these times. So I recently did a broadcast with Gregory, the astrologer, and if you were on my newsletter, you received it on the solstice. And in it, we looked at July through December of the rest of this year. So I was looking at things through an intuitive lens, and Pam was looking at things through her astrology and intuitive lens. So it's a full hour and a bit broadcast. So if you're on my newsletter, you will already have received it. We will put the link below this video if you want to watch it now, but if not, subscribe to my YouTube channel because we're going to be putting it here on the YouTube channel in the second week of July. So if you want to be notified, just hit subscribe. One of the themes that came up for the broadcast with Pam was old world breakdown for a new world breakthrough. So old world breakdown for a new world breakthrough. And we go into detail on some of what the next 6 months would look like. And we recorded this around mid-June. So it's been interesting to see everything that's been playing out here in the later part of June. I'm recording this about 5 days before you'll receive it. But the first theme that I have for you this month is Tremors and Shockwaves from World Energetics. Tremors and Shockwaves from World Energetics. So we've spoken a lot over the course of the months of these energy updates, and particularly even going back as far as a year, that we're in revolutionary times, and we're also in times where global conflict is continuing to increase in what we're dealing with. So it's very normal to be having high emotion, sadness, confusion, disorientation, anger. And for that to hit you at very random moments, you might be fine for a while. And then all of a sudden, the relay or the energetic impact of everything that we're seeing go on the global stage when it comes to global conflicts is very, very high. And it's really affecting everyone's nervous system, not just those who are directly affected in these moments, but everyone who is adjacent and around, because we're all involved in it. So it's a difficult time for many sensitives. It's a heartbreaking time for anyone who feels the pain of what people are going through. And this is part of the period of time that we're in, the period of history that we're in. So there is a level of, if you like, bracing yourself and steeling yourself for everything that's going on, because this is the period of history where it's been forecast that this is going to be part of our world for a little while and part of our experience for a little while. And the second theme I have for you, which came up in Pam's broadcast, which supports this but also in a way is affected by this, is world leadership major moves. World leadership major moves. So unsettled shifts and unexpected changing of the global old guard. This is actually something I channeled earlier in June when Pam and I recorded the broadcast. But it's been interesting to see that play out over the last few weeks of June. Economic shifts and revolution energy will emerge as a result of people being and feeling squeezed emotionally and practically. We're already beginning to see more people saying "not in my name" and standing for peace. And we know that the roots of global conflict aren't to do with the stories that we're usually told. So This is going to be an intense month. July is going to continue to see a lot of this play out. So a bit later in the energy update, I'm going to come to what that might look like for you on a personal consciousness level. But at the beginning, I just need to start with these themes because they are going to be very much front and center for most of us. So world leadership major moves, unsettled shifts, and unexpected changing of the global old guard. I don't know how that's going to play out, but that was a very strong message that I received when I was doing the broadcast with Pam. So just to go back to my first theme, tremors and shockwaves from world energetics, high emotion, sadness, confusion, disorientation, anger. What do? Well, we feel what we need to feel. We also be mindful of when the mind starts to spin out. If you can give your body space, if you can, whether it's sitting and breathing, getting down on the floor, moving your body, whatever it is that's going to work for you. You might have a movement practice. You might just need to gently move to music. You might want to stretch. Really, the body is going to be the key where our nervous systems are concerned. Very often we can stay very still in the body and let all of that energy go to the mind. And that's when people start to mind loop or have anxious thoughts. So it's going to be really important for you to work with your body as these tremors and shock waves hit us. And it might be that it lasts as little as 10, 15 minutes for you. It might be that you experience it for hours, or, worst case scenario, it might be a theme for you for days and days at a time. But make sure you go to your body if that's happening to you. Make sure you energize yourself in whatever way you can. Connect with someone that you can connect with this on. It's very important for us to be as stable and as clear as we can in times like these, while all kinds of irrational and divisive, polarizing and explosive energies are being pumped into the world. Most people on the planet do not want what is playing out. And that's going to be a galvanizing force and a rising force for us as a people, not just this month, but that's a theme that's going to play out through the rest of the year. We're going to see this increase in revolutionary energy. And the third theme connects to that as well, which is, and this is my final theme around the global things going on the global stage, a people versus power reckoning. A people versus power reckoning. What will you allow for yourself and the earth? So at the beginning of the year, when I did the annual update, one of the themes was what will you allow for yourself and the earth? So this is global and personal. So the global revolutionary energy that we're going to continue to see in coming months increasingly is also mirroring for many people their own personal reckoning with themselves. So let's start with people versus power. People are going to be calling for more peace, more compassion, and in many ways, this old guard that's leaving, there is going to be a battle, a frequency battle, an emotional battle, a political battle, whatever you want to, whichever angle you want to look at it from. That frequency battle is already playing out, and it's playing out in different forms. There are some people who are focused very on the human and the political. There are some people who are focused very on the energetics, but it's all the same thing. It doesn't matter what angle you see it from, and it's hitting everyone. So we are in a reckoning of what is the power system on Earth? What is the leadership system on Earth? Is it serving the people? Where isn't it serving the people? And what is the global conversation that needs to take place about that? And it's going to be an action-based conversation. It's not just going to be words. It's going to be an action-based conversation increasingly, as we've already been seeing in recent months, with people standing up to ask for and demand something else. So, what will you allow for yourself and the earth? This taps into the personal theme. So, on a personal level, there will be many of you who are still going about your daily lives as normal, and you'll dip in and out of what's going on globally. In your daily lives, don't be surprised if you are experiencing your own kind of reckoning with what will I allow. And that's not just about others. That's not just about what's going on outside us or who we're involved with. That's actually also a real deepening with ourselves. It's a deepening around, how am I looking after myself? Who do I want to be? How am I showing up? The word that just came in as I was saying all of that was forgiveness. This month is going to contain a lot of personal forgiveness. So personal forgiveness is going to rise to the surface. I will add that to the themes afterwards because that only just came in. You might be going through your own experiences of forgiving others, forgiving yourself. Perhaps you're even making amends in a very overt way to certain people, or they're making amends to you. And if you're just doing it on an energetic level, you might be having dreams, daydreams, sudden awarenesses of people in your life, events in your life, incidences in your life that will be very much lifting off you in very powerful and potent ways. So for those of you who are going through a personal healing right now, forgiveness is going to be a big theme this month. And I'll come to healing in a few themes because it's a strong month for healing still. The fourth theme this month is aliveness like never before. Aliveness like never before. So this connects to you having a desire to live and be free of the programming matrix in all kinds of ways. This is a part of the emergence of new consciousness. So as we are becoming new, you will be increasingly finding that there are just things you don't connect with anymore that you used to. Be it people, places, things, activities, pastimes, passions, your purpose. Everything is changing quite fast. And I think for some who aren't enjoying that, look at control for you. Look at the part of you that had things nicely controlled or nicely safe. And all of a sudden that's being upended. And so the very human part of you goes, oh, hang on a second. But actually on a spiritual level where consciousness is concerned, we are supposed to be becoming new. And this month and everything that's just happened in the last couple is really propulsive for that process. So it can leave you feeling very different to how you usually are or the way you usually work or your regular way of being. But a desire to live and be free of the programming matrix in all kinds of ways. So this connects to parts of the world, the system, the way that we've all been trained to behave, really breaking down. And for some of you, you'll be breaking it down in the outer world. You'll be making changes to aspects of your life. And for others, it will just be very internal, very personal. Sorry, my laptop, which is giving my, hang on, this is very, see, I'm very DIY today. It's like the old days, which in a way actually isn't inappropriate for some of these themes. My laptop screen disappeared with my notes on. So aliveness like never before. So you should be feeling that aliveness. And of course that can also, even in these times, that can relate to joy, excitement, vision, a feeling of yes for the future or for the now. All of that can still exist. So it's important if you're feeling that to let it through you and to allow yourself to feel alive. God knows so many of us in recent years have lost people that we knew and loved, many very early in their lives. So that's always a good reminder that tomorrow is not promised. So if that can't be a call to a new level of aliveness, I don't know what can. The next theme is trust of who you are at an all new level. So trust of who you are at an all new level. This includes saying no to old patterns and paradigms and a breaking of outdated bonds and relationship patterns. So you could be breaking up with parts of yourself, behavior in yourself. You could be breaking up with people or ways of behaving in your life. And as I've always said, sometimes for a relationship in your life to transform, it needs to leave or it needs to go away and it needs to create space for the new. But other times we go through very powerful transformations while we're still in that relationship or while we're still in relationship to an aspect of our life. We just change the way we approach it. So trust of who you are at an all new level is going to be something that some of you are really experiencing right now. You might have done all the work required to get mind, body, spirit aligned, and you can feel that you're able to be in a real mind, body, spirit alignment right now that's very fresh and very new and is powering your life. Or you're working on that right now. So whenever we're working on trust wounds usually appear. Trust fractures, past experiences around trust where it went wonky for us. So trust of who you are at an all new level is going to be a big theme this month. You will both be experiencing that in yourself, or you'll be working on getting to a place where that becomes true. The next theme for this month is healing and manifestation accelerations. Healing and manifestation accelerations. So to me, this is higher dimension at work. Whenever healing is faster, whenever healing is moving through you at an accelerated speed, and equally whenever you are able to quickly manifest things. So perhaps there's something that you're desiring or visioning, particularly if this is a thing that you felt has evaded you for a long time or has been blocked, you might suddenly start to see these things appearing in your life. It's a very magical thing when that happens. It can feel very alive like never before, but it often comes on the back of us healing or clearing up some area of our life so that we can allow that thing in. What will you allow for yourself and the earth? So it goes back to an earlier theme. What will we allow in? And usually to allow something in, there's a part of us that needs to open, heal, release, or perhaps forgive, which goes back to forgiveness. So healing and manifestation accelerations. I did speak last month about physical illnesses and manifestations in the body being an area of focus for a lot of people in their growth right now. A lot of people right now are going through personal growth based on having to look after or deal with an aspect of the body in an all new way. So healing and manifestation accelerations, this will be a month where fast healing is supported. So if you aren't finding that the healing is working in the way you want it to, try some new things, stay open to other possibilities, stay open to other practitioners, stay open to other modalities. Don't give up. There is an energy at work right now that wants to support healing and manifestation, which is a higher consciousness hitting the earth and hitting each of us individually too. The next theme is galactic events and unexplained phenomena rising. Galactic events and unexplained phenomena rising. So this literally relates to the cosmos, what's out there, who's out there, and more of that beginning to become more undeniable and more prevalent on Earth. We're entering a window of time where there is a sense that more of this is going to become not exactly commonplace, but perhaps more exposed, more revealed. And we are headed to a point where all of that becomes a bit more normalized, which of course will be a bit of a shock to the system of the human mind and the human collective energy. But at the same time, there are enough people on the planet now who have had galactic experiences and had what we would call unexplained phenomena happen to them and for them. And it's increasing again. It's coming back in a stronger way. So we will see some more of that playing out in July. You might see or experience it personally. It might be that we see a rise in that globally playing out too. And the final theme I'm going to give you to sit with this month is, what is abundance for you now? What is abundance for you now? So, living an abundant life is when we have connection to the things that are important to us, the things that we value. So for you, an abundant life might be all about community and nature. It might be all about living with purpose and love and harmony. It might be all about your healing work. It could be many things for each of us, but what is abundance for you now? There is an energy at work where more of us are going to be getting even more clear about what's important to us and what is not. So there will be less time, energy, and focus given to things that aren't important to us. And this takes me back to aliveness like never before, this becoming free of the programming matrix in all kinds of ways. And that's a part of us becoming new people. So not surprisingly, with everything that's playing out in the world right now, there is a lot here around letting go, becoming the new, adjusting, balancing yourself, forgiveness of self and perhaps others as a part of your healing, but moving into higher dimensions of living, which is very interesting to me because on a human global level, when you look at what's going on in the world, it's very gritty right now. It's very deep. It's got a lot of darkness to it. It's causing a lot of suffering. So there's that real low energy, but in tandem with that, we've got this opposite end of the spectrum, which is often how it plays out. This real high dimension that's coming in and that's hitting people. So depending on who we are, where we are, and what's going on for us this month, we might find ourselves at either end of that scale. We might find ourselves dancing between the two at different times. You might be more up here and occasionally drop into this stuff. It's going to be unique to each of us. But when you have that wide a span of energy with that much intensity going on, it definitely makes for, I would say, a very energetically tumultuous month, which doesn't necessarily mean it's only bad. An energetically tumultuous month might be exactly what some of you use to propel you forward. But take into account that it is going to be a pretty wild ride through July. So plan accordingly. You know, if you are doing things that increase your frequency, raise your consciousness, you're going to be able to harvest some of the incredible healing and manifestation potential this month, including things that you might be aiming at the world at large. You might be meditating for peace daily right now. You might be involved in many different actions to try and help stabilize the frequency of the world. Or it might be something you're personally working on for yourself. The energy is going to be all the same, but it's going to play out very differently for different people. So I'm just going to move this down here. I'm going to give you one last theme just to recap this month, which is trust of who you are at an all new level. You know, so many of us have given our power away to others, even in the spiritual community. You know, I've shared this a lot. I've been a student of healing and personal development and metaphysics for 33 years now. And like many of you, I'm sure at the beginning, I would give my power away to the person teaching me Reiki or the person running the workshop, or because that's how I was trained in many ways. I think we're trained as humans to give our power away to some system or some authority figure. And when you first walk into the spiritual arena, if it's new to you and you haven't had anyone bring you in, you know, you can make that understandable rookie mistake of attributing the power to the teacher or the facilitator. And it's not to say that we don't have reverence for our teachers. I certainly have so much reverence for all the people who've taught me, both actual teachers and just humans that you meet on an everyday basis. But it's in here. All we're ever doing when we approach personal development or spirituality or our life as a whole and our lessons as a whole, it's all in here. And what we're doing is taking who we are into the outside world or towards our spiritual path or our personal development and seeing what happens in us in response to that, so that we can become the strongest, most open, most galvanized versions of ourselves. So I hope whatever you're doing this month, you can have some peace in your own life and that you're able to stabilize some peace for yourself at whatever moments you can. And it's going to be an interesting month, everyone. So thanks for tuning in. As I said, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see the Pam Gregory and me broadcast, which will come out, I think, around the second week of July. That's looking ahead, and it's July to December 2025. We take a kind of zoom out version on the next 6 months. And this month I also have a free workshop for you if you would like to connect to channeling as one of your tools, speaking to your own higher self, your own soul. I have a mini workshop called Connect to Your Inner Power, which if you use the links underneath this video, you'll be taken to. I'm delighted that we are about to go and do Soul Magic in La Jolla, right by San Diego. There are still a few places left if you catch this in time and you want to be there. But perhaps most importantly, my friend Anita Morjani is joining me to teach for 2.5 hours one afternoon at Soul Magic. We're doing a whole deep dive on strength and sensitivity. So the power of who we are as sensitives and what that strength is. Not only will Anita and I be going back and forth on some of our own personal experiences and our own personal learnings, she's also going to interview my guides, the Z's, about the topic of strength and sensitivity. So we decided to make that available via live stream, so you can find all details at the link below the video. And that's July 10th. We'll be live streaming, but if you can't make it live, you will get the replay, so you can always sign up to watch it anytime. And then London, I am bringing Energy Mastery, a 2-day workshop to London in September. 2 days of personal development work, channeling, workshopping you in the room, for us to experience an elevation of our own consciousness together. So I'm really excited we're bringing that to the UK, and we're hoping that some of you can make it over from Europe. We still have space left in London, right by King's Cross. And lastly, if you want to go deeper with me and all of my work, the place to do it is the portal. It's my monthly community. Every month I go live for a little over 90 minutes and do a real deep dive on the energetics. To some degree it's like this, but it's focused on a much smaller group. So I tune in on the group, and then I also channel the Z's, take questions. The Z's take questions. We get Z's messages every month. So the portal is a place to go deeper with my work if you enjoy these and want to go a step further. But for today, thank you everyone for tuning in, sending you lots of love. Take good care of your hearts, take good care of your minds, and take good care of yourselves and those that you can. See you next month.
How to Channel and Why is my video masterclass on channeling and how it can enhance your daily life. All of us can channel the voice of our soul and the voice of our higher self. And the more we do it, the more it becomes an incredible journey of self-growth and expansion. Channeling used to be something that I observed from afar and thought only other people did or special people did, and yet when I began channeling, it started for me on the London Underground, the most unlikely place. I certainly didn't think I was qualified to channel, but what I learned through my own experience is that any of us can channel. As you go through this course, I'm going to share with you the deep link between channeling and intuition, how the two really depend on each other and bounce off each other. And certainly for me, as someone who works as an energy intuitive and a channeler, the relationship between those two has been very important. The course covers everything from different types of channeling self-care, how to work with your messages, a 7-day video guide where I literally walk you through the channeling steps and accompany you each day, an interview with my guides, the Z's, about the act of channeling and what's happening when we're in that process. Bonus interviews with channelers Paul Selig and Wendy Kennedy to hear about their personal experience as channelers and how it has affected their life, and so much more. All of these modules, plus a community forum, are waiting for you when you sign up. Click the link below for more details.